Hello everybody and welcome to Storytime with me, Miss Anna. Today our story is coming right from South Africa in the Dinokeng Game Reserve just outside of Pretoria. And our story is about iThemba. And iThemba is a rhino. And it's a story about conservation as well. Let's listen. iThemba, in Where There's Life, There's Hope, by Lulu and Tee. From this day forth, you will always remember the incredible story of the rhino iThemba. She has a huge horn on the top of her nose. Her feet have soft padding right under her toes. She can walk through the bush as quiet as a mouse, which is pretty amazing as she's as big as a house. She's pretty thick-skinned, so the prickles don't prickle, but she'll wriggle and giggle if you give her a tickle. She lives on the plains under the African sky, and when all's said and done, she's really quite shy. Sure, she'll grunt and she'll snort if she has something to say, but she was in a big hurry when we saw her today. She was charging along at quite a good speed. It must be important. Oh yes, indeed. It was hot. It was dry. The sun was red in the sky. It's the poachers again. She'd heard the birds cry. iThemba felt nervous. iThemba felt scared. She must find Joe. She knew Joe cared. I'll find cover. I'll hide under a tree. I hope they fly by and they don't see me. Then came a roar. The chopper flew past. It flew really low and it flew really fast. How do we stop them? When will it end? I must keep on moving. I must find my friend. Joe, the game ranger, will come up with a plan. He loves us rhinos. I know Joe's our man. Although Joe is small, he has a big heart. He's brave, he's able, and he's pretty smart. I'll stay under cover with any luck, 'cause out in the open, I'm a sitting duck. iThemba sniffed the wind to find Joe's smell. This was the way that she could tell, 'cause a rhino's eyesight is not very good. It's just good enough to find her food. He's at home, thank goodness. I'm nearly there. We are lucky to have someone to care. She stood by his house, snorting and stomping, then found a good bush she thought worth chomping. Joe came outside and said, "What on earth are you doing? You're eating my hedge. You've got to stop chewing." "Whoops," said iThemba. "Sorry about that, but I just popped over to have a quick chat. Those choppers were flying again overhead. If we are not careful, will all soon be dead. Sometimes I wish that I hadn't been born with this gorgeous, magnificent, towering horn. It's nothing special, it's just not fair. It's exactly the same as your nails and your hair. People who buy them are really quite daft. If only they knew, iThemba laughed. I'd better do something, and do something fast, or else my dear rhinos will be a thing of the past. Joe was upset. I just need a plan. I know I will help them. I know that I can. I know what I'll do. I'll build a dummy. I'll make him all grey with a big rhino tummy. I'll make him a horn and 4 legs and a head. I'll make him quickly inside my shed. Joe's a creative guy. Joe worked in his shed day in and day out. He knew this would work, he had no doubt. At last it was ready. He's done a good job. His rhino was great. He'd get this mob. Where should he put it? Where should it go? How should he move it? He just didn't know. He tried pushing and shoving it through his car door, but it stuck. So he towed it with his fab 4x4. He left it out on the plains under the sun. Now he would wait. Now he'd have some fun. Joe quietly mentioned to a passerby that his new rhino's horns was as tall as the sky. Word travelled fast, and before long it reached the ears of the men who do wrong. Tall as the sky, oh me, oh my, I must have that horn, said the really bad guy. He called in his men and they planned their attack. They would go at sunset before the sky turned black. They would go at the new moon when the moon's just a sliver. The thought of their trophy made these nasty men shiver. The light was so bad they could just see them, see the form. They never suspected anything out of the norm. They went in guns blazing, but little did they know the rangers were hidden with our hero, Joe. iThemba was hiding and feeling on edge, so she kept herself busy by chewing a hedge. They came in real close for an easy shot, when up popped the rangers. With what a huge shock they got. They all dropped their guns and they got such a fright. They were so surprised they couldn't even fight. We got them! We caught them! Hip hip hooray! Said Joe and his men at the end of the fray. It worked! Shrieked iThemba with total delight. I knew we would catch them. I knew I was right. They fell for our trick, hook, line and sinker. They had it coming, the mean, rotten stinkers. Joe won an award for doing his bit, and the poachers are in jail, and there they sit. iThemba now lives in peace and quiet. As we all know, that horn isn't good for one's diet. She now has a baby, and her name is Sunny, and they both chew Joe's hedge, 'cause they think it's funny. The end. I really, really hope that you enjoyed that story and that we all support fighting against killing our animals, and we want to see them thrive in their natural habitat. Have a lovely, lovely day. Goodbye out of sunny South Africa.